They said a man can run from his enemies, but never from his shadows. But in Arosek village, one man learned something stranger. You can run from people, but you can't run from the chicken that knows your secret. This is the story of Ganiyu Owud, the man who stole one chicken, and invited a curse that refused to stop walking, or squawking, after him. Arosek was a humble village wrapped in the arms of green hills, red earth, and early morning fog that danced like spirits before sunrise. In this quiet place lived Mama Tinu, a widow whose entire livelihood rested on the small pottery behind her mud house. She raised chickens with the devotion of a priest tending sacred shrines. Every dawn, she sprinkled feed, whispered prayers over them, and sang songs of protection. My chickens, grow well and feed me in return. One fateful afternoon, tragedy struck. Mama Tinu discovered that her biggest, fattest, most precious white hen, the one she planned to sell for her daughter's school fees, had vanished. The feathers left behind told the truth. The hen had not flown away, it had been stolen. Mama Tinu screamed. Her cry tore through the village like a funeral bell. Somebody has stolen my Tinued, she wailed, naming the chicken after her daughter. The villagers gathered. They murmured, sighed, clicked tongues, shook heads. Whoever stole this chicken has eaten a curse, an elder whispered. But no one suspected Ganiyu Owud, the man whose hands were faster than lightning when hunger and greed met in his stomach. Ganiyu was known not for wickedness, but for laziness coated with excuses. He was young, tall, handsome in a rugged way, but dangerous because he always believed he deserved shortcuts. He often said, "Why struggle when opportunity is walking around naked? Grab it." Opportunity, to Ganiyu, meant other people's property. That night, hunger gnawed him so badly he could hear his intestines debating among themselves. Poverty and pride fought inside him, and pride whispered, "You are Ganiyu Owud, son of Owud the hunter. A big man cannot beg for food." And so, he tiptoed behind Mama Tinu's hut. He saw the fat white hen. He grabbed it. He wrung its neck. He roasted it quickly behind the abandoned cocoa barn. By midnight, Ganiyu belched contentedly, wiped his oily fingers on his shorts, and said, "Who will know? Chickens don't talk." How wrong he was. The next morning, Mama Tinu went to the village square and cried to the ancestors. Her voice broke like pottery dropping from a rooftop. She lifted her hands to the sky and cursed. "The person who stole my chicken will haunt him. Chicken will visit him. Chicken will chase him in dreams and in waking life, until he confesses with his mouth and returns what he took." The villagers gasped. Some stepped backward. "A Yoruba widow's curse is not a small thing," Elder Abegonrin said softly. "A widow's tears go straight to heaven. Whoever stole that chicken should prepare for trouble." Ganiyu heard all of this from a distance. He laughed. Hard. "Chicken, pursue me, in real life, in dream. Let the curse try." He spat on the ground and walked away. But the gods, fate, and chickens had already started sharpening their claws. That night, Ganiyu slept like a satisfied thief. Then the nightmare began. He was standing in the middle of a dark forest, moonlight dripping like water from the trees. Somewhere far away, something clucked. Ganiyu turned. A chicken, white, glowing like fire, walked toward him. Its eyes were red. Its wings spread wide. It was the same chicken he stole. "Yee!" Ganiyu screamed. He ran, but the chicken ran faster. He climbed a tree. The chicken flew. He dived into a river. The chicken swam. He tried to shout for help, but the chicken opened its beak and spoke in a human voice. "Confess." Ganiyu jolted awake, his heart thundering, his chest soaked in sweat. He told himself it was just a dream. But when he stepped outside his hut at dawn, a real chicken stood at his door, white, silent, staring at him. He froze. The chicken clucked softly. Ganiyu ran inside and locked the door. For the next few days, chickens appeared everywhere Ganiyu went. At the stream, 4 of them blocked his path. At his farm, a rooster perched on his hoe. At the market, 3 hens followed him between stalls like bodyguards. It became so obvious that villagers started talking. "Why do chickens like Ganiyu so much?" Chickens don't follow a man without reason." Even children pointed at him and laughed. Ganiyu tried shaking them off. He dashed into the forest. 6 chickens followed. He climbed a hill. They climbed too. He hid inside his house. They pecked at the door until he nearly fainted. One evening, frustration pushed him out of his mind. He shouted at a hen. "Why are you following me? Leave me alone." The chicken simply blinked and clucked. That night, the dream returned. But this time, worse. The ghost chicken brought friends, a whole army of chickens, running after him, flapping their wings, screaming, "Confess! Confess! Confess!" Ganiyu woke up crying. He hadn't cried since he was 9 years old, but that night tears poured freely down his face. He knew what was happening. The curse had found him. Desperate, Ganiyu ran to the most powerful Babalawo in the region, Baba Ofin, a man with a white beard long enough to tie behind his back. The chickens followed him there too. Baba Ofin raised an eyebrow. "What offense did you commit against the kingdom of chickens?" he asked. Ganiyu knelt and confessed the truth, trembling. "I stole Mama Tinu's chicken, just one chicken. I was hungry." Baba Ofin sighed deeply. "My son, it is not the chicken that is pursuing you, it is the tears of a widow." He cast cowries. He closed his eyes. He murmured incantations. Then he said, "The curse will not end until you do 3 things. 1. Confess publicly. 2. Beg Mama Tinu for forgiveness. 3. Replace the stolen chicken with 2 strong, healthy hens. If you fail, the chickens will increase. And eventually," he lowered his voice, "they will drive you mad." Ganiyu shook like a man caught in heavy rain. "I will do it, Baba. I will do everything." But confessing publicly, to the whole village, would destroy his reputation forever. Ganiyu hesitated. And that hesitation worsened everything. The next morning, things escalated. The chickens formed a circle around his house. 20, 30, 40. He tried to sneak out. They blocked him. He screamed, "Leave me alone." A rooster jumped and pecked his toe. He ran through the village, shouting, waving his hands, barefoot, shirtless. Villagers watched in shock. Chickens ran behind him like soldiers in formation. "Ibon Ganiyu, what is happening?" a woman asked. He couldn't answer. The chickens chased him through the market. They chased him to the riverbank. They chased him into the village square. Children clapped and cheered. "See Ganiyu, the chicken king." Ganiyu collapsed on the ground, panting heavily. "Please, please, somebody help me." But the chickens surrounded him in a perfect circle, like a courtroom preparing for judgment. At that moment, Ganiyu knew there was only one solution left. He had to confess. Publicly. By sunset, the entire village gathered. Elders sat on carved stools. Children climbed trees. Women folded their arms, ready for gossip. Even the chickens gathered in a large cluster, staring like witnesses waiting for testimony. Elder Abegoran spoke. "Ganiyu would have something to say." Ganiyu stood up. His knees trembled. His throat locked, but he forced the words out. "I stole Mama Tinu's chicken. I was hungry. I disrespected her. I disrespected the village, and I have suffered for it. Please, forgive me." Silence. Then Mama Tinu stepped forward. Her eyes glistened with emotion, not anger, but exhaustion from suffering. "Why, Ganiyu?" she asked softly. He fell to his knees. "I am sorry, Mama. I will replace your chicken with 2. I will work your farm for 1 week. I will make it right." The villagers murmured. Mama Tinu looked at the chickens. They stepped back, quietly. She nodded. "I forgive you." At that moment, Ganiyu heard a sound like a heavy chain snapping. The spiritual hold broke. The chickens dispersed. Some wandered into alleys. Some returned to their owners. Some vanished into the nearby forest. The curse had been lifted. After that day, Ganiyu changed. He worked in Mama Tinu's farm. He rebuilt her broken chicken coop. He bought 2 healthy hens from the market and presented them to her with humility. Where arrogance once lived, discipline entered. Where laziness once stayed, hard work blossomed. People began to respect him again. Elder Abegoran said, "A man who learns from shame becomes wiser than a man who has never been corrected." Ganiyu never stole again. In fact, he became so honest that people began trusting him with their livestock and harvest. But one thing remained. Anytime a chicken passed by, he stepped aside and whispered, "Please don't chase me again." This story is not just about a man and a chicken. It is about character. In Yoruba land, they say, "The mouth through which you eat wrongdoing is the same mouth life will use to feed you consequences." If this story touched you, Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the next beautiful story coming your way.